Hi, folks. It's Alex Klingelhoeffer here from Exencial Wealth Advisors. It's March 16th, 2021. It's 7:05 here in the middle part of the country. Here's your morning jog of the economic headlines from around the world. We start in Europe, where another couple of countries have decided not to use the AstraZeneca vaccine. Of course, this is on blood clot concerns. This time it's Latvia and Sweden. There's 13 countries so far that have stopped using this vaccine after, remember, it's just one 49-year-old woman who had received the vaccine and had some abnormal blood clotting. Now, again, Latvia and Sweden, the 12th and 13th countries to stop using this vaccine. Of course, this is a big part of the vaccination effort in Europe, not a big part here in the U.S. yet. But certainly we're seeing that bifurcation we've been talking about. U.S. Continuing to vaccinate more and more people every day. Europe being a little bit more tepid and quite frankly having a bigger outbreak, and that people die from that too. Next up here, Fed meeting this week. The 10-year Treasury still about 1.6, 1.602, something like that. Here this morning. Gets kicked off in the Mariner Eccles building later on today. We want to see what the Fed has to say about inflation. They probably won't come out with anything today. It'll probably be in their big announcement tomorrow. We've got retail sales in the middle to look and see if the economy is heating up a bit. Again, it'll be interesting to see what they have to say. This is probably one of the bigger Fed meetings in a while. In 6 to 8. Maybe even 10 months. Folks are thinking about a taper tantrum with regard to the Fed's facilities. I think most folks are expecting something in 2022. No real action here today. It'll be important what they say, not necessarily what the Fed does, because we don't think they're going to do much. Deutchebank cut their Euro area GDP forecast and is sort of signaling that bifurcation we talked about. They're taking their Euro area GDP forecast down from 5.6% to 4.6%, so a full percentage point cut. But they did boost the U.S. growth up to about 6.6%. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing revisions of U.S. growth up. Now they're seeing global growth at 6.8%. That's the biggest number I've seen for global growth. I've seen U.S. growth at 9%. I guess I had seen about 6.6% in terms of global growth before. But that's a great number. We would totally take 6.6% growth, and then of course we need to follow it on in 2022, getting some growth next year as well. Oil down a little bit here this morning, down about $1 a barrel. API numbers come out later today, and it's sort of a busy data week early in the week. You have API coming out later today. EIA comes out tomorrow, and these are going to be the first reports from those two. They report every week. One's private, the API. EIA is the governmental agency. But this will be the first week we have data that doesn't really include a lot of distortions from the Texas freeze from a few weeks ago. So we've seen a tremendous buildup in crude, a tremendous drawdown in refined products, gasoline, diesel, that sort of thing. That's because refineries have been shut down. Some of that was scheduled maintenance anyway, but that's really been the story over the last two of the reports. So this is going to be the first data. The API is a little bit weaker. The EIA is thought of more as the gold standard in that sort of reporting. That comes out tomorrow. But this will be the first time we have that data without that Texas freeze sort of overhang. So it'll be interesting to see if we do get a little bit of a crude draw. Certainly, we're seeing some of the transport rates for moving fuels around the world has gone up as refiners have needed to just import products versus refining their own crude. Last, some news out of Australia. News Corp signed a deal with Facebook. Remember, last month Facebook took News Corp articles off their website for about a week in Australia after the two couldn't reach a deal. Early morning shares. Let's see what Facebook is doing. There we go. Yeah, it's up just a little bit. Markets are sort of flat. I'm seeing some tech up, some tech down, some value up, some value down a little bit. Not a huge amount of rotation. I think folks are just a little bit tepid before that Fed meeting here. And then, of course, we said big early part of this week, a lot of data early this week. Thursday and Friday are the start of the March Madness tournament, and you'll see a lot of the news cycle die off as folks watch the game instead of working from the terminals. Anyway, that's your morning jog here for this morning. If you want some additional information throughout the day, feel free to follow me on Twitter. It's OKCCFACFP. Otherwise, I'm out.